Today's class is in memory of Jared Rochen, and we will learn today the story of Elisha. It's the Haftorah of Parshat Vayeira, 1061. The prophet Elisha was an amazing story. We will learn it on many levels. First of all, on a simple level, then on how Hasidus translates and explains the story. But first, we need a little introduction. Just in case. The story is about Ovadia. It was in the story happened in the time of King Ahab and his queen Isabel, right? Jezebel. In Hebrew it's Isabel. And Isabella, the name Isabella is their common name. That's the name of this queen. She wasn't such a nice girl. She was not Jewish, actually. She converted, kind of. And she married the king Ahab, and she instigated him against the Jewish people. He was the king of Israel. At that time was two kingdoms, the kingdom of Israel, kingdom of Judah. He was a king of Israel. And she instigated him to hunt the prophets and the leaders and the righteous people and the scholars, the rabbis. And he went with a big hunt against the prophets. At that time was a very common thing to be a prophet, or a lot of prophets. And she had a brother with the name Ovadia. I think it was her brother, I'm not sure. Ovadia was a very righteous man, and he wanted to help the prophet to be saved. That he was hiding 50 prophets in one cave and another 50 prophets in another cave, because the police was running after the prophet to kill them. Like it was in communist Russia. They used to arrest rabbis and shot them to death a week later. That's in the 1930s. That's how it was by Ahab. That Ovadia is hiding prophets, 50 in one place, and he had money, and he spent his whole fortune on supporting them. They don't work there. You have to feed them. They're in caves. And because he sacrificed his life for the prophet, God granted him with prophecy too. He became a prophet, Ovadia the prophet. And when he had no more money, guess what? He needed some money. Where he went? He went to the king and the queen. And he borrowed money for them. He didn't tell them what he needs the money for, obviously. But he borrowed money to support the prophets who are hiding from the king. Basically, the king was supporting the people who are running away from him, who he wants to kill. And then one day, nobody lives forever, Ovadia died. At the same day, the Zohar says, Ahab died. Now, who was Ahab's son? Who was the king after Ahab?
Jeroboam?
Yehoram.
Okay.
Yehoram was the king.
Oh, it's a house, okay.
Yehoram was the king after Ahab. And he checks everybody owes money to his father, and he finds that the prophet Ovadia owes money. He sends collectors to collect the money. Ovadia died. Then he tells his wife, or you give the money, or I take your two kids as slaves, as collateral until you pay. That's where the story comes. Now we'll read.
Which period of time it was?
2,800 years ago.
So in between temples?
No, it was during the first temple.
Oh, first temple.
No, before
No.
Solomon, before the first temple. Yeah, before Solomon.
This is in the Bible.
No?
I thought it was after.
This
Oh,
is
so-
No, you have to divide. It has to be after the second temple.
inscription.
No.
Then the first,
During the first temple.
they were divided then.
Yeah, sure.
It was
Right
during-
after Solomon, they got divided.
Oh.
After Solomon was Rechavam. In the time of the Rechavam became already the king only of two tribes of Judah. Yeah, you're right. It was during the kingdom of Israel. Was during the first temple. Absolutely.
Is this before Isaiah?
Yes,
Okay.
for Isaiah, yes.
We're probably talking 800 BC, give or take.
Yes. Go ahead.
Now the wife of one of the sons of the prophets cried to Elisha, "Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that your servant feared God, but the creditor has come to take my 2 children to be his bondmen."
Okay. Obadiah's wife went to his graveside, to her husband's graveside, and prayed. She knocked on the grave. She told them, "Righteous man, who you left me on? What you did to me? Now they want to take away my children." That she heard a voice, that she heard a calling, tells her, "Go to Elisha." Elisha was the leader of the generation. He was the Rebbe of that generation. And always Jewish people went to the prophet for, if they needed a miracle, they went to the prophet. That was a very common behavior. That this woman, Isha Achaz, a woman, a wife of one of the sons of the prophet, went to Elisha. Elisha was at that time the prophet of the generation. He was a disciple of Elijah, and he did double amount of miracles than Elijah did. And she comes, she tells him, "My servant, my husband, your servant, was a servant of God, died, and he was a God-fearing man, and the creditor is coming to take children as collateral."
Why did Elisha get double the amount of prophecy and miracles of Elijah?
I don't think it's prophecies. It's
Double because
He asked
he asked for it. Very good.
But he had to deserve it, obviously. I mean, God had to,
Because even Elijah told him, "Walk away. I have to go somewhere." He didn't let him go. He didn't. The cleaving to his Rebbe made him deserve more miracles. It's an interesting thought, but yeah, that's the explanation that I think. What's Joshua's power? Because he never left Moses' side. That's why he became so big. Elisha deserved it because he was in the right time, in the right place, even to ask for it. He had to be there. Elijah, before he died, before he disappeared, he tried to get rid of Elisha. He told him, go. I need to go somewhere. He didn't let him go. He went wherever he went. And right before he disappeared, he told them, "Give me a blessing. I should get a double the amount of spirit in you." And I think what he told them, if you're going to see me disappearing or something like this, then you'll know that your request was granted.
Right away.
the chariot went up.
Chariot of fire. He disappeared, basically. Number 2.
Elisha said to her, "What can I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in the house?" She replied, "Your maidservant has nothing in the house except for a pot of oil."
Okay, that the prophet is asking here, "Tell me, what do you have?" Who cares why I have? You want to make me a prophet, make a prophet. The answer is, a miracle has to start from something.
Mm-hmm.
Something from nothing is only by God. He makes something from nothing. But a prophet, any human being, if he makes a miracle, it has to start with something. He says, you have anything in the house? The blessing, for example, tzaddikim used to if we want to give a blessing to somebody, give him a piece of cake. They give him $1 for $1. They need something physical to make the blessing start on. Even in the time of the prophet, it's written, God tells the prophet, "Lay on your side, and I will give you. This will be the sign for this miracle." There are another prophet who took 2 pieces of wood. He wrote on one Judah, right, and the other one he wrote Israel. Says, "All the 2 pieces of wood in your hand, and that will be the sign that one day, when the Moshiach will come, the 2 nations, the 2 kingdoms will become one." You always need something physical. That it says, you have something in the house that I can start from somewhere. I need to start from somewhere. Then she said, "I have nothing in the house except a little pot of oil, a little bottle of oil." Okay, she has something. Continue.
He said, "Go borrow vessels from all your neighbors, empty vessels. Do not get too few. Then go in, shut the door behind yourself and your sons, and pour oil into all these vessels, setting them aside as they are filled."
Okay, it tells her, go collect empty vessels. As many as possible, right? And then, shut the door behind yourself. And if you don't shut the door, who cares? Clean your nose, who cares? In the prophecy, everything that's written, even from a technical point of view, you need to understand We used to write in that time, was only writing with ink and parchment. Every word was accounted because it was very hard to write at that time. Then whatever they wrote is only things that were really necessary for the story. Shutting the door behind you, why he told her, and even if he told her, why it's written. Not only it's written right next to it that she actually went and she shut the door. Twice, shutting the door, a whole business of closing the door. Who cares? Don't close the door, close the door. Close the window, it's cold. They don't write if it was a hot day or a cold day, in winter of the summer, they were sweating. I mean, what does this has to do with the miracle? What do you think?
Like a vessel itself, they're closing the house itself becomes a vessel.
Well, it's come up in other ways where you should keep quiet about things.
Oh.
It could spoil the miracle, or maybe the
oh.
evil eye.
Very good. Where we see it, very good, what he says something. It can spoil the miracle. You know about the evil eye?
Mm-hmm.
Judaism believes in it. You talk too much, you kill it. What I mean with that, for example, where we see it in the Torah, a story like this. Where was something that because it was too much noise, it spoiled. No, scholars, no.
I don't remember.
No. I'll show you something. The tablets, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first sets of tablets, first set Mount Sinai, it was a big event, right? What ended up to be broke down. The tablets broke eventually, right? The second set of tablets,
It came down quiet.
God tells Moses, you know what God tells Moses? "Ve'ish lo ya'aleh imoch." Nobody should come up with you. And the first time it's written, if you look on page 337, it's written there on page 337, number 8, number 9 actually. That describes the all. I mean, even in the beginning, 337 in the top, 370. I'm sorry, 377. I'm for color. 377.
Yeah.
And God said to Moses, Mark, you want to read?
9.
In the top of the page.
Oh,
first.
and God said to Moses, "Go up to God along with Aaron, Nadav, and Vayeira, and 70 of the elders of Israel. All of you."
And the whole nation. That first of all, Aaron, Nadav, and Avihu, and the 70 elders was a whole party, and the whole nation was there. And then it's written again in number 9, Moses.
Moses went up with Aaron, Nadav, and Avihu, and 70 of the Israel's elders. They saw a vision of God of Israel, and under his feet was something like a sapphire brick, like the essence of the clear blue sky.
Okay, that everybody went up, was a big party. Now we'll go to the second set of tablets. Look on page 459. Number 1, 2, and 3. Continue, Mark.
God said to Moses, "Carve out 2 tablets for yourself, just like the first ones.
Here is the second part, right? Go ahead, continue.
I will write on those tablets the same words that were on the first tablets that you broke. Be ready in the morning so that you'll be able to climb Mount Sinai in the morning and stand waiting for me on the mountain peak. No man may climb up with you, and no one else may appear on the entire mountain. Even the cattle
No
and sheep."
man will climb with you, no man may appear even there. Nobody should be around. And when Moses brought the tablets, I think it's written here. There is written somewhere that when Moses came down, he took it from the right to the he put it in the right inside into the tent, and he covered this up. Basically, nobody ever saw the tablets, the second set of tablets. Then I don't make this up. Rashi said it. The first set of tablets, because they were done bekoilois vekeilois, with community and with noise, broke. The second set of tablets, Hashem told Moshe, there is nothing better than modesty. Keep it quiet. Nobody has to know. That's why nobody likes to say how much money he makes, right? It's even considered obnoxious to ask somebody, how much money you make a year? Private thing. Then here is the story in the Haftorah. It tells them, you want a miracle? Close the door behind you. Nobody has to know about it. The other story of Elisha there, that he wants to revive the child, he also told them, don't talk to anybody, for the same reason.
Well, you know the story. You told the story before with the Rebbe who gives the escrow to the woman that she should get.
Yeah, there is a story with the Rebbe didn't tell her, but she felt that it was because she messed up. Yeah. Then that's the reason why we close the door. That if we want the blessing of Hashem, we close the door. What lays behind it? I'll tell you. What lays behind it is like this. Things are too good for you. Then people start to be jealous. Then people start to be jealous, then start to be a judgment. Did this person really deserves it? Nobody wants a judgment. IRS, no matter what, you don't want to be under the examination of the IRS, no matter how righteous you are, you understand? Same thing is here. That's why it's better not to talk and not to show off. And my father was very, very big on this I-know thing and the evil eye. Was always afraid of that. And the joke goes that once a guy went on the bus, went up with like 6 children, 7 children, that the driver tells him, next time, leave half of the family at home. He says, that's what I did, actually. Then my father never liked to go to the whole family somewhere. Oh, he said, I don't need the evil eye, everybody should see it. And talk, look what's going on. Better without it. That's what we learn from closing the door. Okay, let's continue. We are in number 5, on page 1061, number 5.
Right, I just have a question.
Go ahead.
It says that in the beginning she has except for the pot of oil, and then close the door and pour oil into these vessels until they satisfy till they're filled. So there's the one pot filling.
Because it's a miracle.
This little bit of oil will pour and pour and pour.
It doesn't
Sound like another story to you?
It's like on Hanukkah.
It's more than Hanukkah. Hanukkah, the little bit of oil was enough for 8 days. This oil pours and pours and pours. And when a full vessel is full, move it away and put another one, and put another one, and put another one.
So she left him and shut the door behind herself and her sons. They brought the vessels to her, and she poured. When the vessels were full, she said to her son, bring me another vessel. But he said to her, there are no more vessels. There the oil stopped flowing.
Okay, let's stop right here. First of all, we read again. She went and she shut the door. Right? And they brought the vessels to her, and she poured. The kids were giving her the vessels, and she was pouring. And the vessels were full. She said to her son, bring me another vessel. What he said?
There are no more.
There are no more vessels. And then it's written, then the oil stopped flowing. When he said there is no more vessels, then the oil stopped flowing. If he wouldn't say it, it wouldn't happen. Maybe it would continue to flow until now. When you stop the blessing stops. Oh, I can't take it, God. Oh, I cannot take it. I'm fine. It's finished. You never stop the blessing. You never complain that you have it. That's what the lesson from here is. And God gives you a blessing, take it. Take it, take it, take it. Don't play around with it. There is a famous, we mentioned it in one of the classes, that Moses, God wanted to show him his glory. Moses covered up his face, right? At the first time he saw God. Later, the story of the golden calf, he tells the God, show me the glory. God told him, the Talmud says in Gemara in Broches, when I wanted, you didn't want to. Now when you want, I don't want. And the Rebbe wants to apply that to people who have children. God gives us the power to have children. People delay it, and they take special, to, what it's called, preventing, birth control.
Yeah.
And then they want to get pregnant and they can't. They can't. The God says to them basically, when I wanted, you didn't want to, right? Now I don't want. Then when God gives us a blessing, take it. Don't say there is no more. In any case, Vayamu Yudashemen. The oil stopped. No more oil.
She came and told the man of God, who said, "Go sell the oil and pay your debt. You and your sons can live on the rest."
What she went and told the man of God. What she went to tell him? What she want from him? What she's nudging him again?
How come no one ever mentioned it to say, how come the miracle? How come they weren't saying anything? How could this little bit of oil be filling up all these vessels?
That's the miracle, that's the story.
But they didn't say anything while it was happening.
What is there to say? They're busy to fill up the miracles. The question is what she went to the man of God.
She's complaining that the oil stopped.
No,
No.
she didn't say that.
He
What
had
she
to-
wants from the man of God, what kind of a nudnik? He came to her, she came and wants to the prophet, he gave her a miracle. What she wants again? What's will sie weiter? What she wants?
She wants to know what to do.
What do you mean you want to know what to do? She came and complained she doesn't have money. Told her, what do you have? Say, oil, we'll give you a lot of oil, you'll have enough oil for who knows how long. If you would have, you need the money, what would you do with the oil?
Sell it.
Sell it. Then what she's asking. He needs to tell her to sell it. She doesn't understand it.
That's a blessing.
Go sell the oil. I mean, what's the question? Go sell the oil. Oh, go really? I didn't think about it. What are you going to drink all the oil? What is going to do with it?
Is it another blessing? Is it another blessing he's giving her?
Why she needed another blessing? What is this? Go sell the oil. Oh, I didn't know that. Now I know. I have to go to sell the oil. What do you think? What was the question? What happened?
Well, she had a great miracle. I would think she'd maybe want to say thank you and give 10% or something.
Doesn't look like she's giving 10%. It doesn't go sell the oil. She should give, but it doesn't look like it. And the prophet doesn't need the old barrels of oil. Bring the money. Bring the cash, if anything. Rashi says something very interesting. The same day, the price of the oil went up. So beautiful. Then what she went to ask?
Should I wait longer
Should we wait
before I
longer?
sell it?
Should I wait longer? Or should I sell now?
He's a stockbroker.
The stock market question, the $1 million question. Should I wait longer? Maybe you go higher. She was greedy a little bit. No? I always say that nobody benefits on the stock market. Why? When the stocks go up, the wife tells you, sell them my stocks. You say, now I'll sell it. Are you crazy? It's going up. Fine. Wait. Then the stocks start to go down. She wife tells you, sell it now. No, it's too low. I'll wait until it go up. Then you never sell the stocks, goes up and down. The only one who benefit from the stock market are the psychologists and the cardiologists. Oy vey, it's going up. Oy vey, it's going down. Oy vey. I walk in sometimes, I visit somebody, some businessman. I walk into his office, he's sitting on the computer looking on the stock. He gets upset. I say, what happened? It's going up. It's going down. That's the question. Should I, know what the prophet told her? Don't be greedy. You made money, Hashem helps you, sell it. Don't complain later. Oh, if I wouldn't sell, I would be a millionaire today. Don't krechts later that why I didn't sell the stocks. You're making a little money, be happy. Move on. God gives you, what means when the stocks go up? God gives you an opportunity to make some money. God says you don't take the bracha. Well, fine, you obviously don't need it. Fine. I'm moving on. I'll give it to somebody else. You invested $100 stock. It became $120. God says, here, I want to give you $20 per stock. I want to give you another $10,000. I said, no, I don't want. Yeah, I want more. I said, I don't want. Fine. Give it to somebody who really needs it. He moves the stocks, the other stocks go up. And your stock go down. Oy vey, why does that? I gave it to you. You didn't take it. It's like somebody puts you money on the table, you don't take it. If you don't take it, so give it to somebody else.
So that's yeah. I think I remember you saying that last year, and I didn't remember. So what's the?
Then he told her, go sell it, and you will pay off all your debts, and you will live with the rest. And according the Medrash says, until Tchias Amesim, that this family will be rich until the resurrection of the dead. I told it to my young son Meir. He tells me maybe it's the Rothschild family because for many generations they are rich. So maybe they are the descendants of Ovadia. Now this is one story, a nice story that happened 3,000 years ago, or 2,800 years ago. Now we'll learn this story again on a whole different level, a whole different meaning, and we'll see how every story, how Hasidus learns the story. Now, with the introduction, you know the book Song of Songs. What's Song of Songs all about? You know, it was a discussion in the Talmud if the book Song of Songs should make it to the Bible. When the rabbis decided what will make it to the Bible, what will not make it, there is the book. It's called Sfarim Chitzonim. What it's called, Akub. There is a word for them. Books who did not make it to the Bible.
Oh.
Apocrypha?
Apocrypha, very good. Means the outsiders. Right? I think it's in Greek, the word the outsiders. There is books who did not make it to the Bible for many reasons. The rabbis decided. It was a big discussion about the book Song of Song. What is the Song of Song? It's a love story. It's a roman. It's a novel. What is this? Fair in the Bible. Love, a love story, description of love. What is this? Came Rabbi Akiva and he said, if all the books are holy, the Song of Song is the holy of holiest. That's what he said. Kol Asforim Kodesh, Shir Hashirim Kodesh Kodoshim. Shir Hashirim is the holy of holiest. Why? And he explained that it's a description, it's a metaphor. It's not about the husband and wife, it's about the love of God and the Jewish people. That's what the Song of Song is all about. Now, in every other part of the Torah, when you learn the literal commentary, explanation, that's good. Even if you don't learn the commentary of Rashi and the Talmud, because the literal has a literal meaning. In the book Song of Song, the literal meaning is about God and the Jewish people. If you take it as a love story, you miss the point. You're not allowed to. The deeper meaning is the whole meaning of the whole book. You know what I'm saying? Now, with this in mind, that it's about God and the Jewish people, we'll read the story again. Now we'll read it a little bit in Hebrew because you know the English. You know Hebrew. You can learn with you a little bit Hebrew. Ve'isho achas, one woman. Who is the woman? The Jewish people. Achas, she's one. She's united with God. From the women, mineshei bnei anevim, from the women of the son, a wife of one of the sons of the prophet. There is prophets and there is sons of the prophet. What's the difference? Prophets were the official big prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah. Son of the prophets were the disciples, the second class prophets. Not the top prophet, but people who rub shoulders to be prophet, who make it eventually, but not big prophets. There is an expression about the Jewish people. If Hillel the older one said, that was once a discussion about Pesach, it's a whole story, maybe you know it, maybe you don't, it's a whole story, they didn't know if you're allowed to carry the knife on Shabbos and Pesach that happens to be on Shabbat, or if they're allowed to carry it on Shabbat or not, that Hillel said, leave it to the people, the Jews, see what the Jews will do. If they are not prophet, they are Bnei Nevi'im, they are disciples of prophet. Means to say, they have some of prophecy. A little bit of prophecy they have. That the Jewish people are called have prophecy. They have a little bit of prophecy. That's one of the examples. There is more examples about that. There is a person wakes up in the morning, in a verse from the Bible falls into his head. It's like a little prophecy.
60th of prophecy or something.
That's a dream.
That's a dream.
But you wake up in the morning and like a verse comes to your head, that's a little bit of prophecy. I experience these things sometimes when I'm looking for an idea to speak, for a thought of Shabbos and for speech or something. I wake up and it comes like straight from God. There is in general, there is a Talmudic statement that says that in every, there is a bat call. You know what a bat call is?
The voice from God.
A voice from heaven. A voice from heaven comes out and says, voice to the people who don't respect the Torah. There are different voices from heaven. Then the question is, the Alter Rebbe is asking in Likutei Torah. The question is, in a minute will be.
But they did so quietly though.
They were not quiet, they were far.
Oh, they
Then he says, if nobody cannot hear the voice, what's the point? You hear the voice from heaven, I hear the voice. I don't hear. Maybe you guys hear the voice from heaven. You don't. That he said, the neshama hears. So what does this mean? When a person gets an inspiration about spirituality, it comes because his neshama hears the voice from heaven. Suddenly, middle of the day, he wants to do a mitzvah. What happened? In the middle of running the day, suddenly you want to do, you think about, I should do something Jewish. Out of nowhere. What is this? That's the voice that woke up your neshama. That every Jew is a prophet, a son of a prophet. The neshama, the Jewish soul, is crying out. Tzaka cries to the prophet, to whom? To Elisha. Elisha, Eli. What is Eli?
My God.
My God. Say Eli, right? Or it's even what Elisha. Elisha, it means to say the God of salvation. That now it's not a story about Elisha and Ovadiah's wife. It's a story about my neshama crying out to God, to Eli, to God. What I'm crying out to God, what do I have to God? I come to God and I tell him, your servant, the husband died. The word husband that they use in Hebrew here, there is many words for the word husband. Baali. Here they use the word ishi. Ishi could mean husband, and ishi could mean from the word eish. What is eish?
Fire.
What is eish? Fire. Ishi, my fire died. What means my fire died?
My passion, my drive.
My passion to God died. It's called Ner Hashem Nishmat Adam, right? The candle of God is the soul of man. The soul of man is the candle of God. It's compared to a flame, to a fire. The fire means also, I have a fiery love to God. Now, the fire to God, fire has 3 levels. Something very interesting to recognize, to point it out. There is a fire that you can touch it, you burn. Then there is coals, right? In coals there is a fire, but you don't see it. If you start to blow, the fire will come out. Means there is a fire, but you don't see it anymore. When you see on the coals from fire, you don't see any fire. If you look for it, it will come out. Then there is even worse than that. There is a fire that you can make from 2 stones. If you rub 2 stones, comes out a fire. There is no fire. You look at the stone, there is no fire. But there is a potential for fire, right? This guy comes and says, the fire died. Not a fire, not a coals, maybe a potential. No fire. The fire to you, God, died. I used to have a fire, I used to have a passion. I used to be excited about going to shul. I used to be excited about going to classes. I used to be in love. Dead. Garnished. Nothing is happening. I'm not in the mood. I open the Siddur, doesn't talk to me. The words I daven, the words fall out like stones from my mouth. No inspiration. You see it by people. That happens many times, that they, from time to time, they lose it. But there is a bigger problem. What she says, and your husband used to be a God-fearing man, right? That's what she says. He feared God. I had love of God, I had a fire, and I had fear of God. Now, no love of God, no fear of God. But you know what was worse than that? The creditor came to take the 2 children. You know what this means? Who is the creditor and who are the children? Now here's something very interesting. I'm teaching you pure Kabbalah and Chassidus. Everyone has intelligence, right? The intelligence are in the brains. Chokhmah, Bina, Das, wisdom, understanding. Feelings, emotions are more in the heart, so to speak. Emotions means love, fear, that's emotions. Now, a child jumps on the table, is not afraid to fall. Is it because he's brave? What do you think?
He just doesn't know.
He's stupid. He doesn't get it. He's not smart enough to understand. Why is an adult doesn't do it? Because he understands that it's not good. You know, I once by Hanukkah, I gave out Hanukkah geld. I bought dollar bills, I gave out. Nobody wanted to take it. The kids didn't want to take it. A year later, I gave out chocolate. I was the hottest thing in town. Now, why is the child doesn't appreciate dollars? Because he says, I don't need a dollar? Or because he doesn't understand that the value of the dollar is more than the value of the chocolate? That means love and fear is an outcome of your understanding, right? You love things that you understand or make it good for you. When you're a child, you understand candy is good for you. When you get a little older, you understand that money is good for you. You get even older, you get a car, so on and on. Then your wisdom and understanding and the parents are the mother and father. Chokhmah and Bina are the mother and the father. They give birth to children. What are the children? Love and fear. What I love, what I understand is good for me. What I fear, what I understand is not good for me. Then who gives birth to my feelings? My thoughts. That this is called the intellectual capabilities of a human being are considered the parent. The emotions are considered children, called children. Then whatever, all my emotions are an outcome of my understanding, of my way of perceiving the world. Somebody will I'll give you stacks. If I don't know what the stacks are, I don't know what stacks is, I'll tell you the truth. I can see a whole bunch of stacks and throw it in the garbage, I don't even know what it is. The guy says, you lost $1 million. I lost nothing, I didn't know what it is. Then it's what you love and what you fear is what you understand. Now the neshama tells God, the creditor, comes to take the children. The children are love and fear. Not only I don't love you, God, not only I don't fear you, God, my love and fear went to the wrong place. The creditor, the evil inclination, the other side is taking the children. I start to love physical things and I start to fear physical things. You know, it cannot be a vacuum. If I don't love God, I love something else. If I don't fear God, I fear something else. You know why we fear other things? Because we don't fear God. If we would fear God, we would avoid fearing everything else. You understand what's going on here? I'm worried. If I would have faith in God and if I would only love and fear God, I wouldn't worry about anything. Who cares? I am with God. Nothing else can control me. It's only up to God. Then the fear, there is a medrash, the Talmud says, for example, about another thing, the Pirkei Avot in Ethics of Our Fathers that said, anybody who accepts upon himself the yoke of Torah, to take from him the yoke of the world, so to speak. He will not have to worry about other things. But if you don't have the worry of the Torah, you'll have other worries. No such thing as being without worries. God tells you, take my worries on you, I'll take your worries on me. We'll exchange. Mm-hmm. But if I don't want to take God's worries, God says, okay, I'll worry for my things, you worry for your things. We are much better off exchanging. The same thing is here. I lost the love of God to God. I lost the fear of God. The creditor, the other side, the evil inclination, the nefesh habahamis, the animal soul, took away, and now I love and fear material things. I'm like anybody else. It's a conversation between the Jew and God. A Jew stands up in God to God on a regular Tuesday and tells God, I used to be excited about you. Not anymore. I used to have love, gurnish. I used to have fear, gurnish. Not only this. I love and fear anything else. I'm more excited about American Idols. Not anymore about God. That God tells him, here comes this. Elisha answered her. Who is Elisha? God, right? Elisha answers to her, tell me what you have at home. Anything left in your neshama? Anything? Maybe a little bit intellectual. Maybe you learn Torah a little bit. Maybe you do this. The Jew says, no, nothing. I'm empty, garnished. But there is one thing. You know what it is? A little bottle of oil. What's oil? You know,
Spirit?
What's chokhmah?
the Torah is compared to what?
Water.
Water, very good. Water. Why? Because water goes from up to down. Because water fulfills
permeate,
your thirst, everything. Kabbalah is compared to wine. Yeina shel Torah, the wine of the Torah. Why it's compared to wine?
Secrets.
The secrets of Torah. Because the secret, it's written, when you drink wine, what comes out? The secret. Therefore, the secrets of the Torah are compared to wine. That's one reason. Another reason is because the secret of the wine is not, you have to squeeze the grape to get the wine out, right? It's covered up. That's the secret part of the Torah, it's covered up. Then there is rosin de rosin, the secrets of the secret. That's oil. Why? Because oil, what's easier to get? Wine from the grape or oil from the olive? What do you think?
Probably
Oil from the olive, absolutely. Much by far.
Is what? Easier, harder?
Harder, much harder to get.
You have to
Oil from
squeeze
the
it
olive,
out.
sure. Then you see an olive tree, you don't see any oil. You squeeze, something comes out. That's the Jew. In every Jew there is a little bit of oil that can never be erased. Like the little bottle of oil that was in the second temple during the story of Hanukkah. That was the little bottle of oil with the stamp of the high priest that can never be taken away. Inside of every Jew there is a little bottle of oil with the stamp of the high priest that can never contaminate it, can never be defiled, can never become tameh, impure, just like in the temple. It means there is a spark of God in every Jew that can never be taken away. You know where I see it? I see it here every Yom Kippur. If I wouldn't have to stand on the beam, I would stand with a microphone before Yom Kippur, like a reporter, with a video camera. Mr. Joe, why you came here to shul today? Walking in people who didn't wear nothing shul 20 years. What do you think they're going to answer? Why you came to synagogue? Why came Yom Kippur to Kol Nidre? What is the answer will go like this. I don't know. My wife told me. My mother-in-law told me she will not invite me for the breaking of the fast. There's no good explanation. I feel guilty. You didn't feel guilty. Why didn't you feel guilty for the last 10 years, 20 years? What happened today? There is no explanation why the Jew comes to shul. That's only because the little bit of oil was revealed. The magnet pulls him. Because a Jew can never erase his connection to God. Then the neshama, the Jew tells God, nothing, I don't have love, I don't have fear, I don't have anything, but I have a little bit of oil, my connection to God. That alone, that I cry out to God, is a sign that I have something. You understand?
Is
If
oil
not-
compared to good deeds?
What?
Is oil compared to good deeds?
To good deeds. Tov Shem Mishem and Tov. Maybe, I don't know. But you know what Elisha told them? Go and collect empty vessels. Right? What's empty vessels? What do you
Empty
think?
souls.
Empty souls. No.
Unfulfilled.
Kilim.
Hmm?
Kilim.
Kalim. What's kalim?
It's
What's empty
it's
vessels?
a shell. It's
You
a-
know, some people, when you do a mitzvah without the kavona, without the meaning, it's written mitzvah belo kavona, a mitzvah without intention, keguf belo neshama, like a body without a soul. People say, hey, why you want me to put on tefillin? I don't even think, it doesn't mean anything to me. Why should I light the candles and means nothing? I don't believe in it. Why should I eat matzah? Why should I do this? I don't believe in it. You know what Hashem tells you? Don't worry. Don't scare me with your beliefs. Collect empty vessels. Yes, go out and do it. The empty vessels are something, are a statement of something. The empty vessels, the mitzvahs, are the expression how the neshama connects to Hashem. For example, you tell your wife you love her. Can you take out the garbage? No. Can you wash the dishes? No. You buy her a present? No. I love you.
That's it.
How I know that you love me? If you do something for me. That the neshama, how the neshama expresses her love to God by doing mitzvahs. Simple. That person, but this mitzvah doesn't mean anything. It's like I'll give it my wife, but I don't really love her. You know what you tell them? Just give her, don't worry. Collect empty vessels. The more you collect, the more you connect to your neshama. And eventually these empty vessels, these mitzvahs will have no meaning, so to speak. With this you will touch your little barrel of oil. And this oil will start to pour. And the miracle will take place. And you start to pour more and more and more. How are you going to connect? You say, I have nothing, no feelings, no emotions, no love to God, no fear to God. God tells you, the best way to awake your emotions and your feelings is by doing things. There is a statement in Jewish philosophy, הלבבות נמשכים אחרי המעשים. The feelings go after action. Mm-hmm. For example, you have a guy who you meet him at work, start to work next to you, next desk to you. You didn't like him. Now after being with him for a while, you start to talk to him. It's not so bad. You start to like him. Once somebody told me, he started to come to shul. He tells me it's growing on me. But I started to look at him. I said, what is growing exactly? I never heard the expression. It's growing. I said, what is growing? I got scared. What is it? What is it that's growing on you? I don't want to know about it. Then you blame me. Growing on me means that little by little, when you do things, how you start a relationship. You smile to each other, you smile again, you smile again. You start to do good, nice things to each other. Eventually, brings you together. You start to do mitzvahs. That's how you start to create your feelings. If you wait for your love of God to start to do something, you'll never do anything. Because the less you do, the less chances for the feelings to wake up. The more people are apart from each other, there is not better chances to the feelings to wake up. Usually the chances that should die out. The love will die out. It's like a marriage. We have to build up the feelings. And this is what lays behind the whole Chabad philosophy of outreach. What the Rebbe came out to say. There is other organizations who are busy with making seminars and lectures and proving that there is a God and explaining. The Rebbe's philosophy in 1967, when the Rebbe came out, for example, with the campaign of putting on film on Jews. Right? He didn't come. He didn't say, sit them down and prove them that there is a God, and they will prove him that the Torah is true, and then make him do things. Empty vessels, yes. The empty vessels are the best tool to awaken them the connection.
Fill it with the oil.
That it will connect them with his own oil that he has in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to get the oil out, we can do in two ways. God forbid, can squeeze a Jew, God forbid, with Torah. Or the better way is to give him a hug. When you give him a hug, you squeeze the oil out with love. That's how you squeeze the oil of a Jew. Then he says, go out, collect as many empty vessels as possible. Oh, it was an empty vessel. I did a mitzvah. I didn't feel anything. It meant nothing to me. Fine. Don't scream so much. Meant nothing to you. It's okay. I can live with it. One more empty vessel and one more empty vessel. The whole movement to return to Judaism started with this campaign of making Jews putting on film or putting a mezuzah on the door or giving charity or saying the blessing over the Lord of a network. 1 minute. The easiest mitzvah to do is saying the blessing over the lulav. You used to go for a campaign. Hold the lulav for a minute in your hand, you say a blessing, you're done. The easiest mitzvah in the world. The people used to argue with the Rebbe, oh, what does this mean? The guy put on film for a minute and he's disappeared and you'll never see him again. He said a bracha over the lulav. It's meaningless. No. These meaningless mitzvahs are everything.
It's a connection.
Where we
the
see
match
it,
and-
strikes the match and makes the connection. Where we see it in the story when the Jews left Egypt. The Talmud says that Satan came to God and told them, they're idol worshippers, the Jews. Why they deserve to go out of Egypt? And what God did? How many mitzvahs God gave them in Egypt?
Yeah, they put the blood on the door.
Put the blood on the door. Pay you one mitzvah. What else?
Make a calendar.
Matzah was already matzah, but what else? Another.
Make a calendar.
But that was for the rabbis, for the Beit Din, not for the regular Joe Schmo. Blood on the door is a part of the matzah. It's about
Circumcision.
circumcision. 2 mitzvahs. The blood of the door was removing yourself from evil. They were idol worshippers. To take the idol and slaughter it. Remove yourself from bad. And then do a bris, a covenant with God. Circumcision. Connect to the good. God didn't throw on them 572 mitzvahs. He didn't start up with a big lecture. Oh, guys, I want you to know that I'm God. And the guys were not made for philosophies. They were tired, hungry, after so many years of slavery. You can talk to the walls. God gave them 1 mitzvah, 2 mitzvahs. 1 mitzvah to remove from the bad, but more important, to connect to the good. And with these mitzvahs, he connected to them. The moment you connected them, you have them on board. It's like the Rebbe once said, it's like, when a building is on fire, somebody is sleeping. What do you have to do? The only thing you have to do is to wake him up, right? When he's up, you don't have to tell him, there is a fire, and a fire is dangerous. And therefore, I convince you it would be a very good idea if you leave the room. Nothing. The moment you woke him up, the rest will happen by itself. He will fly out of the door. That's what we need to do with the Jewish people. We have to connect them, to wake them up. The rest will come by itself. The moment you connected them, mitzvah goreret mitzvah. 1 mitzvah brings to another mitzvah.
Mm-hmm.
1 thing brings to another, and the person gets closer and closer and closer. Then the prophet, God is telling the Jew, go and collect empty vessels, and the empty vessels will waken you the oil, and you'll have enough oil, not only for you. You'll have enough inspiration, not only for you, but for others. To share it, to sell it, to share it with others, to inspire other Jews. You'll become a source of oil, not just for you, for your neighbors, for your children, for your grandchildren, until the resurrection of the dead. That's the story. Now, it's not a story about a woman came to Elisha 3,000 years ago, people rubbed their eyes, he said, yeah, fine, no, what do you want for my life? It's my story with God. It's a conversation between me and God. I come to God and say to God, God, I have no desire, nothing to do today, no desire to do mitzvahs. God tells you, you know what the answer is? Do anyway. And you do anyway, you'll wake up, you'll get back your connection.
The whole
Right.
Kabbalistic concept of interpretation here, it's a metaphor. It's on a different metaphorical level, but what's the metaphor you're always looking for? Is it in relation to the soul? Is it in relation to the Jewish people to God? I mean, how does that
It's
work?
the same thing. I would say one of the main purposes of Hasidus is to translate the old Torah, what it means to you and your relationship with God. There is many, many examples, but all line up to one thing. What is this story who looks like completely not relevant, suddenly in one moment it becomes a very relevant story. It's about you and God. For example, we're reading the parsha about the story of Eliezer, right? Eliezer made a shiddur between Isaac and Rebekah. And we spoke before, and God made him so many miracles on the road. We are matchmakers. We bring Jews to God. A shiddur, right? The Jew is the woman, God is the male. We are the matchmakers. When you are busy being a matchmaker, you'll have as many miracles as Eliezer has. You say, God, I need a sign. Whatever you want, God cooperates 150%. When you are busy with doing what God's work, everything will connect. Everything will happen. What I mean to say, the whole idea is to show that the Torah is not a story that happened 3,000 years ago. The Torah, you have to live at the time. The Alter Rebbe said you have to live at the time. It means to say you have to live at the parsha of the week. Every parsha, every week has a message to you. God, when the Haftorah is the prophet is speaking straight to you. And the parsha of the week is like the message from God to us, to the Jewish people, every week, in shul. Prayer, remember that's an important thing. The Torah reading is God speaking to us. The prayer is we speaking to God. Every Shabbos there is a conversation between God and the Jewish people in the synagogue going on. We pray to Him, we talk to Him, and He talks to us. The Torah is He talks to us, the prayers we talking to Him. Let's start the conversation.
Yes, Koch.